Well, the Earl Super Friday is here after much, much waiting. And I'm in a weird state. I'm in a weird state. Which is why I'm doing the Earl Super Friday. Although it all kind of aligned. Like I announced it a week ago, right? And now I'm in this weird state. So there's a guy I work with. I'm not super close. We're friends, but we're not like super close friends. We don't hang out outside of work or anything like that. But I recently found out he's got stage 4 liver cancer. He's basically dying. And it sucks because, obviously, but he's a good dude. And he's worked hard his whole life, and he has a family. He's close to retirement. And now he just gets to die instead. And there's a guy in our Discord server who was taking care of his father for the last year or so at least. And his father died in a different sense of, he said, I'm done. Like, I don't want to suffer anymore. So he watched his dad die. And there was a guy who's been super close in the channel. Well, and the guy in Discord, he's been super close in the channel, in my opinion. We've messaged back and forth for over a year. Good person. And there's another person, the same situation in terms of messaging and great person. And his dad died end of last year. And so, and I found this song another friend sent me. We were talking about the guy we work with. He sent me this song by Amanda Palmer called The Ride. And The Ride is based off of the stand-up bit by Bill Hicks, who's talking about life. And it's just a ride. And I've been sleeping well, so I'm all fucked up. I'm 2 minutes into an Earl reaction where I haven't listened to a note of music, and I'm already getting like emotional over it. But all of that to say, I feel like this is kind of a good time to sit down with Earl. You know, sometimes it's weird with life, the ride, which I have to say, that is my view on life. To me, life is not a journey, because a journey implies getting somewhere so that you can be there. But life is not that, because if life was a journey, then the whole point is to get to the end. No, it's a ride. It's a ride. And sometimes it's crazy and fast, and sometimes it's calm and boring, and sometimes it's fun, and sometimes it's miserable, but it is a ride, in my opinion. That's the view I hold. I forgot the other thing I was going to say, the other tangent. Anyway, this mood, oh, that's what I was going to say. You know, everything aligned, right? Because I'm not the biggest fan of Earl Sweatshirt. I enjoy Doris. I love Chum. I love the one with RZA. You know, he's got some cool songs, but he's kind of an odd artist. And I like that, because odd artists tend to, they're just different. And so it's fun because you walk into something and you have no idea what you're going to get. And you walk out going, wow, I didn't expect that. And I've never seen anything like that before. And it's cool. Now, maybe that's not the case with these albums. I don't know. But yeah, I should also warn that when I'm tired, which I am tired from not sleeping well. I don't know why I'm not sleeping well. I'm waking up. I just wake up and I can't get back to sleep. So I just like, fuck it. I just get up. I do get more emotional. So this whole Friday might just be a mess. Maybe it's a good thing. Maybe it needs to be. Maybe I've got to just dump a bunch of shit, you know, emotional discharge type of thing. You know, just get it out. We'll see. We'll see where it goes. Let's get rolling. So this one has 2 music videos, I believe. I've got it up on the other screen. Grief and Off Top, I believe. And then Solace has, oh no, Solace is just a 10-minute thing. And then Rap Songs has this Nowhere Nobody 10 or 8.5-minute video thing. So that's set up over there. The music videos will be specific to Patreon only, because it's a pain in the ass to edit and have to blur out the video and all this other stuff for YouTube, because they just block it if I have all that stuff. So if you're wanting to support the Patreon, if you want to see me react to the music videos, Patreon's $2 a month. Please join. I really appreciate it. My family appreciates it. And let's drop in to track 1 off of I Don't Like Shit, I Don't Go Outside, Earl Sweatshirt. I'm just going to go. We're just going to go. I gotta pull it up over here because I was listening to The Ride by Amanda Palmer. Check it out. It's a 10-minute song. It's kind of long, but it's cool. Now, Huey, some of these tracks are a little shorter. Like Huey, I'm just gonna let it play all the way through. Some of the longer ones I might pause in the middle, but the ones that are a little bit shorter, I'll let them play all the way through. And let's drop in. Track 1 is Huey. First time listen. Here we go. I think Random Black Dude is Earl for the production.
Foot and hand on the gates. We was jumping them, fuck, I'm like quicksand in my ways. Was always stuck and I'm stuck it in and an ambulance came. The first time was Shane Fast through Los Angeles ways. My bitch say the spliff take the soul from me. And the click tight knit, it's like the low rugby. Beat the fucking beat up like it stole from me. You could talk to Clancy, you need a feature, a quote from me. I'm off the Lancy, I reek a reefer and show money. It's early running with niggas who cold running shit. The wind's like lotion, he get it.
It sounds kind of quiet,
critics pretend they get it and bitches
but everything's maxed out.
I spent the day drinking and missing my grandmother just.
Cool beat. I mean, it's cool. I kind of feel like with the idea of the album being I don't like shit, I don't go outside. This sound kind of has that feel of somebody's in their room. You know, it's sunny, but the blinds or the curtains are closed. There's a little bit of light coming through, but it's still mostly dark. And it's it's a quiet afternoon. There's nothing going on. Just kind of fucking around, making some beats type of thing. That's what it felt like. It sounds quiet. I have everything maxed out. I don't know what's going on. This sounds quiet. I did a sound check with a previous song, obviously a different song, so I'm not spoiling it for myself. But anyway, there you go. I was having a hard time paying attention. This might be a shitty video. We'll see where it goes. We'll see where it goes. Sometimes it's weird. Sometimes shitty is good. It's different. Foot and hand on the gates was jumping them. Fucking like quicksand. Like I'm quicksand in my ways. I was jumping them like I'm like quicksand in my ways. Getting stuck in my ways probably. Okay. I was always stuck in them. Stuck in it. An ambulance came. This with click tighten it. Is this? Oh, so I remember when I was going through Wikipedia slightly to try and find music videos and just get the order of I don't like shit solos and rap songs in the right order. It's talking about how Odd Future's kind of breaking up and stuff like that. So maybe this is kind of a reference to them. I guess I can click it and read. Earl's crew is tight knit. Yeah, sure. Okay. You can talk to Clancy if you need a feature or quote from me. I like that because that's the manager. Delancey running. The wind's like lotions. Get him. He's going to rub them in. Oh, interesting. Rub the winds in. Like lotion. That's pretty good. Critics pretend they get it. And bitches just don't fuck with them. Who are they talking about? Oh, Earl's Doris is critically acclaimed. Oh, okay. But he claims they don't fully get his lyricism. That makes sense. And here I am trying to figure out, what's going on here. Kind of everything. So let's move on to track 2. I feel like if I spend too much time here, I'm going to get stuck in something that isn't really fully fleshed out yet. Track 2 is called Mantra, produced by Earl. Is Earl Sweatshirt. Okay. Yeah, let's drop in. Track 2. Here we go. Mantra.
Get your lady, cop, piff and Haley cough, rip the label off this. Pick the road that got twists. I'm holding my dick and playing cautious. I'ma show you how it's done right, nigga. Drop this when the sunlight gone. Better run right home when the sky turn black. Screaming fuck 5-0 till my line go flat. In the ass break, you know what we calling that the pitch crew. Jackknife bitches to the couches in they living rooms. Ask who the best and I doubt that they picking you. Back like I need the style I invented you. Yep. Act like you don't know the name. Only time I ain't even when the chokes is stanky. Listening to pre getting throat while I lane switch. Bitches by the 3 licking coke off the panky. The poster child, you post to hate me bold and wild. You broken angry, my nigga. Name getting bigger than the difference between us niggas is fake. I limit the features I give them. Sweat, shirts. Get your lady, cop it for Haley, call for the label off this. Pick the road, the twist, I'm holding my dick and playing cautious.
I like this part about now he's surrounded with a gaggle of 100,000 kids who you can't get mad at when you want a pound, when they want a pound and a pick, because they're the reason why the traffic on the browser is quick and the reason that the paper in your trousers is so thick. I love that duality, right? Like you just want to be left alone. You just want to live your own life. And here come all your fans and they're harassing you and you're kind of annoyed by it. But at the same time, it's like, well, shit, it's these are the people why, you know, making the money and all this other stuff. I hit on that specifically because to me, I'm going to kind of hold this theme of the ride and how, you know, that's just this weird element of the ride, because everybody's got, well, not everybody, but people who are probably going into the music industry, you know, trying to come up with these dreams of making it and all this other stuff. But then if you don't want to be famous, really a double-edged sword, and that makes for an interesting portion of the ride, because here you go, you got what you wanted, people love your music, they're listening to it, you're making money off of it, and now you're being harassed everywhere you go. I'm going to practice my reversing here so I don't kill transitions, so I'll just back this up a couple seconds. We'll keep rolling. I did want to get your lady, cop, piff, inhale, and cough, rip the label off this. Picked the road that got twists, you know, as like the not straightforward, not directly to the thing, but the one that kind of goes around and takes its time, you know. Piff is slang for marijuana. Okay, I didn't know that. Didn't know that. All right, let's keep rolling. The production's kind of odd. No surprises. Very different from Heroes and Villains, which is what I came off of last week.
Hey, you used to say you like violins and your lifestyle depend on me. And I know it's nighttime when you get lonely. And tell all your little friends how that bitch stole me. And despite all of the facts that you got phony, you gon' tell them about the night that you exposed me. For the bastard I was, and how I probably smashed every bitch that I passed in the club. And the last couple months was the worst, cause I smashed all the trust that I earned in the past couple months that we had as a couple. My absence of fuss was a problem that we ain't never really get to solve. We just smashed and we scuffle. Fuck this.
I like the emptiness there. There's still a minute left, but it just empties out. I like that a lot. Again, thinking of the theme of I don't like shit, I don't go outside. Just somebody in their room, curtains are pulled closed, there's still some light shining through, but it's mostly dark. You know, the air's stagnant, and you're just fucking around with some beats. Just fucking around with some beats. Now, I am going to kill the transition between the two tracks. I apologize for that. There's not a whole lot I can do about that. The second verse is kind of, I want to say cool and neat, but those aren't great descriptors for what this is, but it's well done. You used to say you like violins and your lifestyle depends on me. And I know it's nighttime when you get lonely. The whole violin thing, what's that about? Earl is a melancholy guy, and the violin instrument knows for sorrow connotations. Sure. Okay. Okay, that makes sense. You used to say you like violins, so somebody that is melancholy, which is him. So that makes sense. Okay, I'm glad I actually read that annotation. And tell all your little friends how that bitch stole me. So this is a breakup verse, this verse right here, this relationship that falls apart. And despite all the facts that you got phony, you're going to tell them about the night you exposed for the bastard I am, how I smashed all these bitches in the club, and the last couple months was the worst because I smashed all the trust that I earned in the past couple months. My absence of fucks was a problem that we ain't ever really get to solve. He just doesn't care. And that's important in the sense of this mood. You know, I don't like shit. I don't go outside. Just this apathy. Maybe this melancholy kind of rot inside where you're just fucking unhappy. This general malaise, I suppose you could say, if you want to get really fancy. We just smashed and we scuffled, trying to keep it calm, but I snap at you. Now you're taking all your property back. So he's, you know, she's moving out. Apart from the fact that we fucked and it's bomb, man, I hate when you're home. And when I'm gone, I don't call because you nag. I brought you this shit. You brought me some shit. And then what's cool at the end of that verse, I was talking about how it just empties out. It you know, a very musical symbolism before she's gone. She's gone. But it's cool in the sense that it's just an emptiness. It's not necessarily a sadness. There's not really like a feeling of regret. It's just absent. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. I like Mantra. All right. Track 3, Faucet, produced by Earl. Let's jump in. Obviously, those two tracks transition together, so that'll be kind of cool to listen to in one go. I like the start of this beat.
Chef Sweaty brazen your faculty. Face getting gray from the ash, but I'm laughing, that's for tracing me, nigga. Fuck out my face while I'm thinking. Ain't step foot up in my mama place for a minute. I'm a land mammal staying away from the altar. Shit changing the August.
I really like this beat. I like this beat.
And I raked in a profit, disobeying the doctor. The good guy prescribed fate never caught him. Chasing these rappers, whole face in a faucet. Yeah. And I don't know how else to call home lately. I hold my phone break, let it ring.
I'm going to back it up just a little bit so I catch that transition. I love the beat. Love the beat on this. This is exactly what I kind of wanted to hear, honestly. Just this kind of, just this dark, but not like drowning, not like oppressed, just this kind of dark apathy, rolling through these things, trying to figure it out. This line on the chorus, and I don't know whose house to call home lately. Lots being said there. Because why wouldn't he call his own home a home? So there's step one. there's a giant hole in the heart, part one of my home does not feel like a home. So he's not going there. Doesn't want to call that home. And then obviously the next level would be, okay, so who do I stay with? Where do I go to feel like I'm at home? I don't know. And I'm trying to get into this kind of like the darker, apathetic. Honestly, I wish I could turn these fucking lights off. I wish I wish I could just turn all the lights off. But then the video looks like shit. But that's the appropriate mood to have. Just dark. I don't like shit. I don't go outside. I don't even know whose house to call home lately. Basic host trying to cage him like the bow. Huh. It's great sound. Great sound. Trying to see an end and some steadier hands. Who you calling your mans? Bet you thought he was solid when he was really just sand, washing away with the water. I'm a land mammal staying away from the altar. What's that about? Odd Future has been very vocal about their disbelief in God, often depicting anti-religion imagery. Here, Earl distanced himself from religion. Okay, sure. In the Holy Bible, land mammals are sacrificed by humans in the name of God. In certain situations, this happens on altars. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Shit changed in August. In the wake of that August, last autumn, leaves fell, and I raked in the prophet. Earl's debut. Okay, sure. Disobeying the doctor. The good guy prescribed faith. Never called him. Chasing these rabbits. Whole face in the faucet. This was I didn't get this one. Chasing the rabbits refers to getting distracted from what you intend to do. Oh, okay. Thus, Earl puts his whole face in the faucet to refocus. Okay, sure. Let's keep rolling. Love the sound on this track. Love the sound.
Trying to cage him like the pole. When I run, don't chase me. Solid so the funds don't base me. On tour, wildin' by the truck stop races. Hard as finding me a common thread between us. Raised different, my mama, she born bred the leader. Get shit poppin' like the guns off safety. Saying easy and
I like how the beat kind of double hit when it's talking about a gun popping off.
rain, checking on your plot if ever bread should pop 'em. Out the toaster, I gotta focus. My family problems shrunk and widened with the bumps in my personal finest. And I don't know who else to call home lately. I hope my phone break, let it ring. Toe to toe with the foes, new and old. Basic hoes trying to cage them like the pole. When I run, don't chase me.
Just a great feeling of kind of just isolation and distance and apathy, and great sound on that one. I like that one. So Faucet, contender for favorite. I was talking about the line, I don't know whose house to call home lately, and you know, all those different layers there. And then the next line, of course, is I hope my phone breaks, let it ring. So not only does he feel like there's nowhere to go to, no place to call home, so he's nowhere, just off wandering, right? But then the people that are trying to reach him, no, let it ring. Hope my phone breaks. Like, it's just isolation. But then with the topic of Faucet, or the title, I'm sorry, not topic. And then the idea of, you know, being chasing rabbits and being distracted and putting his whole face in the faucet to refocus, and at least as far as that's what the annotation said. It makes me wonder, well, focus on what? You know, because so far that track felt like focusing on kind of the apathy in a sense. But sometimes it's weird how sometimes that's what you just need to do. You got to roll through these feelings, which is why I embrace being emotional. I think it's important. I think if you bottle all these things up inside and you never let them out, it starts to turn into this rot. And it's like this weird sickness that just gets buried. It's good to cut loose sometimes, in my opinion, on the emotional side, and just get it out. Get it out. Hard is finding me a common thread between us. Raised different. My mama, she bore and bred the leader. And then get shit popping like the guns on safety. The beat kind of tut 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 tut. It doubled up to kind of reminisce gunshots, I suppose. Saying easy and doing harder when you get caught up, raised neck and neck with neck, so I'm a fluent brawler. Out the toaster, I gotta focus, my family problems, shrunk and widened with the bumps in my personal finance. It hurt because I can't keep a date or put personal time in. So he's just getting too busy to spend time with friends and family, I suppose. Yeah, cancel appointments, yeah. Let's keep rolling. This is cool. I'm settled in here. I'm enjoying this. Next track is called Grief, which is one of the songs that has a music video, I believe. Let me glance at my other screen. Yeah, Grief and Off Top are the two. Is Off Top on this album? Yeah, so the next two songs both have music videos. So track 4 is Grief, produced by Earl. Here we go. Oh, wow.
All right.
Funky. Wow. Wow.
Good grief. I've been reaping what I sowed. Nigga, I ain't been outside in a minute. I've been living what I wrote. And all I see is snakes in the eyes of these niggas. I don't act hard, I'm a hard act to follow, nigga. Like it or not, when it drop, Betty gotta listen. Chasing dragons, trying to make it happen on a mission. Step into the shadows, we could talk addiction. When it's harmful, where you going? And a part of you that know it don't give a fuck. Pardon me for going into details. 376 was a brothel. We had females coming every hour on the dot. And this shit sound like a gavel when it not. Focus on my chat, ain't as frantic as my thoughts. Lately I've been panicking a lot. Feeling like I'm stranded in a mob.
Great sound. I love that beat. It's just like, again, the theme, don't like shit, don't go outside. It's just this darkness, being kind of inside of it on purpose, right? Like staying inside of this darkness. And now the sound is just like, it's almost like the cave collapsing in on you, but you're still like in this little pocket. But you know the whole mountain's just coming down. Just, whoa, that sound. Fucking cool. Some great lines in this first verse. Great lines. Let's see here. You know, it's talking about if you step into the shadows, we could talk addiction, when it's harmful where you're going, and the part of you that know it don't give a fuck. Talking about these, you know, females coming in every hour on the dot, and the shit sounds like a gavel when it knocks. What does that mean? Judgment. Judgment. A gavel, a judge. Bang, bang, bang. So this idea of maybe he's kind of hitting at sex addiction or something like that, chasing dragons, right? That's often representative of you know, chasing that high. He's talking about addiction. Now he's talking about these girls showing up from a brothel, so they're escorts, prostitutes, whatever you want to call them. So pretty easy to line in sex addiction there. But every time they knock, he can. It's almost like he hears. It's like himself judging himself. Here you go again. You know, here you go again. You're doing this thing, and I wonder where that comes from. Because if he's anti-religious, it wouldn't be from that angle, but just maybe his own person. Maybe he is just simply that. It's that easy. He's struggling with his own addiction. Focused on my chatter and as frantic as my thoughts, which is, you know, sometimes if you ever hang around people who are, they just talk and they talk and they talk and they talk, but they never really say anything. And it makes me wonder sometimes, what are you like hiding? Like, what are you keeping behind this wall of empty conversation? Why are you fearful of getting into something deeper? Because I wonder what lingers in those deeper thoughts of those people when I meet, when they go and they go and they go. Lately, I've been panicking a lot, feeling like I'm stranded in a mob. Great play on words there in terms of the contrast. Stranded means you're alone. You know, there's nobody around you. You can't get help, but you're in a mob. Stranded in a mob, which pairs really well with, I think it was the first track. You know, what was it talking about? Being harassed by hundreds of thousands of fucking kids who just want a picture and a fist bump or something like that. Stranded in a mob. Scrambling for a Xanax at the canister to pop, never getting out of hand, steadily handling my job. Time damaging my ties. So he's mentioned this before, how he just doesn't have enough time and it's hurting his relationships. I was making waves, you were surfing at them. Cool word, you know, good line right there. Dealing with the stomach pains just from birthing people. Cut the grass off the surface, pray the lawnmower blade catch the back of a serpent. Because they got snakes, right? They're snake eyes. Where was that? Where was that? All I see is the snake eyes in these people. Mama taught me how to read them when I look. So he's hoping the lawnmower blade will catch the back of these snakes hiding in the grass. This is fucking cool. I like this one a lot.
My fleeting thoughts on a leash. For the moment, high as fuck. I've been alone in my shit for the longest. Snakes sliding in.
I love how outside of convention he is here.
Not be like the bodies lying in them,
gives a fuck?
riding in them. I'm a target, so it's hard to even eye me in them. I just want my time and my mind intact. When they both gone, you can't buy them back.
Whoa. Whoa. Did not expect that turn at all. Not at all. Wow. I'm going to make a reach here on that outro. He said a couple things about his grandma now. I'm assuming his grandma has passed. Earl lost his grandma in 2013. Okay. Thinking about my grandma, I'm gonna find a bottle. I'm gonna wallow and lie in that, and you know. So he's missing her. Very dark song, obviously. I do feel like it's a fair comparison to relate this album to like Radiohead style, is because it's just odd and it's out there. It's a little unsettling. The final two lines: I just want my time and my mind intact. When they're both gone, you can't buy them back. And I love that he says buy instead of get, because Why is his mind and his time so strained right now? Because he's essentially exchanging it for money. It's a back and forth between trying to balance himself from losing all of his time and losing all of his mind, but he also wants to make money. But to make money, he's got to sacrifice time. He's got to sacrifice the things inside of his head. He's got to let himself be driven crazy by the fans that are swarming around him that he doesn't want to deal with. But I love how he acknowledges this, he understands it, and in this darkness, here's the reach. This darkness is almost like it turns it out of this dark sound into this kind of slightly playful outro, and it's almost like, well, fuck it. You know, who cares? Maybe. That's kind of what I was getting from it as it just kept playing out. It's just like, it's almost another extension, another form of, does it even matter? You know, like, am I overthinking it? Am I overcomplicating it? Because who cares? You know, who cares? So it's this weird, like, apathetic playfulness in a sense. There you go. Well, who knows? Who knows? Cool song. I kind of love Grief. Faucet and Grief. I enjoyed Mantra too. Huey, I don't have an art next to because I just wasn't settled in yet. So we'll see how that develops later on. Let's move on to Off Top, which is produced by Left Brain. Who's that? Oh, okay. So this is the first outside producer off the album. Let's drop in track 5, Off Top. Got some piano. Oh, wow. Wow. Jarring.
How you doing? And what's your motive, ho? I only trust these bitches about as far as I can throw them. Trying to pay my mama rent. Figure that's just what I owe her. I've been troubled since I tumbled out that stroller, strolling easy down this narrow path. Beefing with your scary ass. Cream got my little niggas cheesing off the cherry ass. And nigga, that's a great lunch. Papa Swamp and stomping with the skate fucks. Heavy-handed tracks until the day the fucking train come. Raised up where every mouth to speak the truth get taped shut. Peep the evening news,
wow.
Nigga. We don't do the same stuff. Run a nigga pockets like some errands. Make it hasty. Hope the sheriff keep away from me. Sheriff keep away from me. Hope the sheriff keep away from me.
Wow. I like the production. I like the production on that one quite a bit. That was just jarring, aggressive, unsettling, uncomfortable. I love this line. I'm only happy when there's static in the air because the fair weather is fate to me. And that plays perfectly off of the previous song where he's talking, looking around all these people, they got snake eyes, and he's hoping the lawnmower blade catches him in the back of the head. You know, these snakes that are sledding through the grass. And so with that idea, you know, only happy when there's static in the air because the fair weather is fake to me, it just gives us insight of he doesn't trust anybody who's nice to him. And so when there's static, that means they're not being nice. But then, so maybe he thinks, okay, at least this is a real interaction, not somebody faking it, not somebody trying to pretend like they like me or be my friend so they can maybe get something mad at me because they're a snake. Cool track. Jarring. Pretty fucking jarring, but in a good way. What's your motive, ho? I only trust these bitches about as far as I can throw. I'm trying to pay my mama's rat figure. That's just what I owe her because I've been troubled since I stumbled out that stroller. Preem got my friends chasing off the Cherry ad. What's the Cherry ad? Earl is known to hang out with a Supreme skate team who released a skate video titled Cherry. His friends are featured in the video with which they're getting paid for, so they're very excited about it. Oh, all right. Well, good for them. Good for them. Heavy-handed tracks until the day the fucking train comes. Tracks is another term for songs. Yeah, sure. Earl plans on rapping until the day he dies. Okay. I don't know if he's got anything new coming out. Although, when was Sick? Sick was last year, I believe. 22? I think I remember seeing that when I was pulling up some of these albums. The dogs are barking outside. If you hear them, I apologize. It's just another day, another person's bitch to face fuck. I've been like this since the Motorola Razr. What a bastard that baby was. The Motorola, I remember this one, the flip phone. Everyone was just fucking bonkers over that one. Everyone was bonkers over that one. Huh. Off top. Okay, cool. Another good, just dark, jarring, unsettling. Let's move on to track 6, which is called Grown Ups, featuring Dash, who was actually just referenced here. I got this guy Dash with me. He's sipping on some maple leaf. What's maple leaf? Traditional syrup is made of maple leaf, but it's not what Dash is sipping on. He'd rather enjoy some lean cough syrup. Oh, sure. Okay. Because maple leaf, syrup, cough syrup, lean. Okay. Okay. Fucking slang. Doing this for almost 2 years. Still try to sort through the slang sometimes. All right. Track 6 is called Grown Ups. Produced by Earl as well.
That's what I did.
Like, so why did they evict you, bro? Like, why?
Feelings caged when that acid fade. Face the same, but your mind has changed. You desire a stable home. I acquire fame and name it home.
Trippy beat again.
Plotting on my neighbors, asking God for favors. Guess he gets at home. Probably cause that fucking faith out in this show. Skip the church, flip the park. Hit the dirt like promise that I'm not the one to fucking plot against.
God, it's just so dark. It's great.
Trying to figure how to start a motherfucking end. Trend dodger, keep a bitch by me. Back roll, garbage bag full of sand. Place myself to rap still, catches in hand, pack it back sale like the Tin Man. Cardiac still missing past real. Getting worse, mate. Dennis, don't know where I'm going.
Cool little line right here before I forget it. Like the Tin Man, cardiac still missing. You know, the Tin Man from Wizard of Oz did not have a heart. Cardiac is, you know, cardiac arrest, cardiac, you know, cardiovascular system. That's your heart. So like the Tin Man, cardiac still missing. So what a great way of saying I still don't have a fucking heart. What a great way to say that. That's cool. Yeah, I'm kind of laughing a little bit because in Discord and stuff, there was a little bit of discussion. I was considering doing the Destroy Lonely album today that just came out. I don't even know what it's called. And we were kind of going back and forth. But basically that led to people talking about Earl. And there's a lot of sentiment of, you know, I listen to Earl. He's all right. I'm not a huge fan. But, you know, he's all right. And then there's some people that they don't like him. And there's some people, obviously there's some people that love Earl. But I'm kind of just thinking about those who enjoy Earl, but, you know, aren't necessarily in love with him, and how this album, this is such a moody album. You can't just put it on. Like, if you're trying to get fired up, you know, for whatever, you're not putting this on. If you're at work and you're trying to do something and maybe you're trying to focus, you're probably not putting this on. You know, there's a lot of situations in life where this type of music isn't going to click that well. But goddamn, if it's like 11 o'clock at night and you're just kind of feeling like shit and you're just not interested in anything, you know, I don't like shit. I don't go outside. Dark, or you're trying to make it dark by closing all the windows up and shit. I remember when I was in the military, when I was in the Navy and I was deployed, and I was listening to a lot of Radiohead, especially at night in the dark, because I was just miserable. And there's something about it, how it paired so well. And I keep making that parallel with this album and Radiohead, because it's just the beats, the vocal, I mean, everything. It's just this dark, moody thing. And it's great for that. The issue, and I guess the whole point of this little rant, is that the dark moodiness doesn't always apply. And so this is why I think a lot of people aren't necessarily into Earl, because you got to be in this mood for this shit to click, which is why I'm doing it today, because I've kind of been in a mood last couple of days. And this is helping. It's kind of flashing me back a little bit to being deployed and just spamming Radiohead. All right, let's keep rolling. Let's finish this for them.
I'm the type of nigga that you cop your raw off, popping horse off. Grab the ball, and these niggas call charge. Change the curse like a soft star. Press the on star. Think we all lost.
OnStar. I forgot about OnStar. Jesus. Motorola Razors and OnStar. That's a flashback in itself. Grown Ups is cool. I mean, this is just a great moody experience so far. Great moody experience. Reminds me of like Amnesiac or Kid A or something. Kid A, which is a Radiohead album. And the time I was really soaking into it was when I was in upstate New York during the winters. It was cold. It was dark. I was working 12-hour shifts. I was exhausted. And it was just perfect. Perfect. All right, the next one's called AM Radio, featuring Wiki, produced by Earl. Let's drop in track 7. Cool production thus far. This has been impressive to me by Earl, the production that he has put out there.
19, still getting kicked out the crib. Ripped off my bib, spit out my food, hiccup and piss. Urine burning, I can smell the liquor in this. Cats always trying to pick up the fish. Duff this dude out, grab a stoop just to get me a grip. Now it's like bruised face, loose walk, too sauce, distraught thoughts of my corpse on the asphalt. Back when I'd slack off, rock my slacks off, my ass half off. Every time I rap, I blast off. Back when I catch court,
cool.
I always had sports. Dipping on cops in my track shorts.
Nowadays I'm on the hunt for mirrors to box with. And some pretty bitches, they ain't tripping if it's a hit and run. I got to go cause I don't do the crying, bro. She Mario, I'm trying to keep the whining to a minimum. Piggies come, bet I'm splitting quicker than I finish rum. Find me some indica, nuggets on my fingers and my shirt like they was chicken crumbs. Room spinning, finna yak if I don't hit the blunt. Got the chin wagging, slim chances of me getting up.
I'll pause there. That doesn't sound like... I'll back it up. I gotta remember to back it up. All right. Got kicked out of the morgue. So does that mean he almost died? The morgue is the place dead bodies are? Yeah. Oh. So the annotation is insane. Earl is so rowdy that he got kicked out of the morgue. But... it comes in this section where it's saying, dodge fanatics, half a Xanax when I'm traveling, 6 hours or more, brick out on the tour. What's bricking out mean? I fucking have no idea. Oh, man. Brick out is an expression meaning to bail or skip out. Yeah, sure. Okay, so he's trying to avoid the fanatics. But then getting kicked out of the morgue makes me think, what if he took some Xanax, they thought he was dead, and so they brought him to the morgue, and then he's like, nah, I'm actually not dead. I like this part, too. And when I'm quartered, it's actioned. I was kind of out of the game. Mama put the quarter right back in the slot, like kind of, you know, it's game over. It's, oh, fucking arcade games, it's game over, and you drop another quarter in, and you can kind of play again. So this has to be something to do about, yeah, joining Odd Future, you know, going from... took the 7 to the deuces to 17 to the block. So she probably gave him a little bit of money. Or maybe, or back in 09, maybe that's how he joined up with them. I don't know. There's a lot going on here in terms of slang and Earl referencing different things that have happened and shit. Because Pops was the one that got to me, feeling down like he passed it. You know, these, I've heard Doris. When did Doris come out? I don't know. Doris came out 2013. Okay, because Chum is a great song. Great song. I liked Wiki. He sounded good on his verse. He sounded really good. I liked how he rapped over this beat, because this is not necessarily the easiest beat to rap over, in my opinion. I lie every night about the limelight so I could lie at night. Lying about the limelight means he's looking back at his past as being better than it probably was, possibly thinking it wasn't always this bad. Okay. What's this Rat King about? Wiki is 1/3 of Rat King and will always bring attention to his group. Okay. Okay, so Rat King is where he's from. Okay, that's his group. Okay. Just like Odd Future, I assume. Well, I don't really have a whole lot to say here, and I don't want to necessarily pick through them, so let's go through this instrumental here. He's done a great job of just making this just I don't want to say apathetic again, but just this moody, slowed down, just kind of fucking with it. Like, I kind of care enough to keep making beats, but really I don't like shit, and I don't go outside, you know? This almost feels like right here, this almost feels like a little private track. And that meaning something you just fuck around with, you have no intention of releasing, you know, it's for you kind of a thing. Just fucking around. And when I say private track, just fucking around, etc., I don't mean to say that it's not good and it shouldn't have been released. I don't mean that. I just mean more, I feel like Earl has captured this sense of we're in this dark room with him, and you can almost see him just sitting there at his desk. Maybe not even at his desk, on like the floor, you know, his legs are crossed up. His posture's terrible because he's just slumped over this thing. And he's just kind of just with hardly any energy, just kind of like fucking around, making these beats. And I'm not saying that's how he made it, but the music gives me that visualization. It gives me that picture, which is great in terms of the theme of what the album is, man. That's cool. This is a neat ride. I'm liking this. It's not a lot of energy, which is great because I don't have a lot of energy right now. I don't want to enjoy something to an extent, if that makes sense. You know, I want to kind of be moody, and this is perfect for that. Track 8 is called Inside. A little 2-minute track, so let's just roll through this one.
Belly of the island into the heart of the city. T and them just hit the road. I had Sage and knocking them with me. I thought the fauna was pretty, so I approached her. My first apartment was really covered with roaches, cause niggas was really smoking. Gotta say that as of late, I've been busy with business mostly. Got a tape, catch a wave, now you in the industry ocean. Missing out on your boat, I've been figuring out my own fish. Home gets distant, we working, I'm on the road again. When it's problems, I don't holler, rather fix them on myself. When it's looking like it's quiet for you, this the shit that yeah, it's the shit. Keep your chin, cause when she ain't fucking with you, then a friend might let you get up inside. Yup, let this shit ride up. You don't get it rocking like we do on this side, nigga side. Hey.
I know I'm harping the topic, the subject, but just another great example of staying to the theme of the album. I liked this whole wave, ocean, boat thing that he did. Fresh out the belly of the island into the heart of the city. I'm assuming this is New York. Yeah. Oh, Los Angeles. For a few years, Earl spent time, oh, that's right, on the island of Sameo. That's right. Did his mom send him to like some boarding school or some shit like that? I remember that. I remember when I did Doors, people were talking about how he got sent away. There was a song where he was all pissed off about the writers who essentially outed where he was. Like he went to, I think he did that. He went to the island of Samoa. It was like some boarding school or something. And I don't know if he got kicked out or he went there to like kind of like just get away from everything. But then some like music magazine found out about it and like wrote the story. And so then everybody knew where he was and it kind of defeated the whole purpose of him going away. I remember that. Well, not very well, but I do remember. I like this. Been busy with business mostly. Got a tape, catch a wave. Now you're in the industry ocean, missing out on your boat. But figuring out my own fish, home gets distant. We're working on the road again, cold, and the spirits is bursting out the Trojan. Is that a condom reference? Trojan horse. Okay, a reference to Trojan horse. Earl's saying he's back in the game, bursting out the Trojan, ready to kill the rappers. I don't know about that. Fridge full of the spirits of the Crips. He's got plenty to drink. Then they mimic the fucking motions. And I like that motions kind of tied back into oceans and up here. So that was a cool little rhyming structure that existed in that verse. I blow a spliff before the ink dries on the paper, and lately I don't like shit put inside on the daily. Sip until I melt. Devil's trying me, I'm dodging, falling victim to myself. Middle finger to the help. And the falling victim to myself ties back to me to, I can't remember the track now, but you know, the girls that were knocking on the door and it sounds like a gavel and he's judging himself, kind of hinting at some sex addiction there and maybe, you know, feeling guilty or ashamed but still doing it, you know. So this is another kind of link to that, feels like. When it's problems, I don't holler. I'd rather fix them myself. When it's looking like it's quiet for you, this is the shit to yell. Cool. I'm cool with Inside. I like Inside. AM radio is cool too. This is a neat ride. Again, very moody. Very moody, right? You're not going to a goddamn barbecue with your friends at 3 o'clock in the afternoon on a beautiful Saturday outside. Like, hey, let's put on Earl sweatshirts. I don't like... No, you're not doing that. You're not putting this one on for that, you know? Taking the kids to the pool. Ooh, I know what album to put on. All right, track 9 is called DNA. It's featuring Nikhil Smith and produced by Earl. Well, let's drop in track 9.
Intercepting a fifth of whiskey and necking it till I'm dizzy. I never was defenseless. I never hugged the fence. I pick a side and trust in it. Stomach full of drugs and shit. My niggas on some other cleanse. Sunday binge, Monday then another 6 days back to Sunday when it's done again.
Oh, this is great.
Decreased on my corpse. If you need that, run it till the street lights off. That got bigger, got Keem strapped on it. You thought it was magic, but that's just the difference. Nigga, my team is magicians. We think of the shit that we want, that we get it. Look, I got holes in my britches, big up Dylan britches, bro, call coming soon. Thought you knew this, my nigga. It's
cool. I like how he's changing his flow.
Just checking and balancing checks in the salaries, testing my friendships. It's cold in the deep end.
Wow.
Bitch, nigga, we the train. If you see a wave, ain't no bitch in my DNA. Bitch, nigga, we the train. If you see a wave, ain't no bitch in my DNA.
I like this one. I really liked on this verse. He ramped up his flow. He was really cracking through there. And it was kind of a nice thing to hear after so many tracks where he's just kind of like almost grinding through these things, kind of a slug and just feeling this shit. But this one's like almost perked up a little bit. And it's neat because it puts some sharpness to it. He was really cracking through. Yeah. My friends on some other, cleanse Sunday, binge Monday, then another 6 days back to Sunday when it's done again. What the hell is he talking about? I mean, I understand a cycle, but Earl and the rest of his squad are getting drugged up to cleanse them of their pain and their problems. I don't know about that. Cleanse Sunday. Sunday is very specific. And usually would kind of associate that with religion, you know, going to church or something, but he's not religious. I don't know. Interesting, though. But it's a cycle, that's for sure. And the pants better be creased on my corpse. If you need that, run till the streetlight's off. Back up bigger, got the team strapped on. It's cracking like French tips. French tips, that was like the hair thing, right? Oh, no. Oh, okay, fingernails. What am I thinking? Oh, I'm thinking of frosted tips. I'm thinking of frosted tips. You know, the Motorola Razr and OnStar and, you know, that time period was making me kind of think of frosted tips. What was that fucking guy? The pop guy, the fucking Latin dude, living La Vida Loca or some shit. He had the frosted tips, I think, for a little bit, didn't he? I can't remember. Oh, man. It's weird sometimes how different lines, you know, different words, different references will just kind of take you back. Checks and salaries testing my friendships because people get sour of this. Rap shit's got the best of me and threw the rest off the balcony. I know your bitch check for me, so much for chivalry. This was an interesting line. You know, so long to every bitch trying to get intimate. I'm in my 20 now. Feet aimed at the jaws of the running mouth. And I click the thing and it's not working. Huh. Let's try again. Nothing. Okay. Huh. All right, let's keep going. Let's hear Nikhil.
100 blunts, niggas change, that's my day to day. Niggas tryna ride my train like they fucking strange. My bro left today. Fuck.
Oh, wow.
Hot sauce in my cup of noodles. You taught me that. I ain't seen you in some years, and this news right here almost made me have a heart attack. Your mama heart intact. We just spoke, I couldn't stomach that. I'm going to London on the 1st. I'm bringing you something back. A house on a hill with a big ass grill where we can have a boxing match. When I look into the clouds, I know you look down on me. Right next to grandmammy. And the rest of the ones that want to see me happy.
Huh. Nice shift in tempo here. Clunky. Unsettling again. I've really enjoyed the production on this. Very unconventional, but very cool. I want to click on this annotation here for, you know, I know you're in a better place. I can't even cry about that. When I look into the clouds, I know you look down on me right next to Grandmammy and the rest of the ones who want to see me happy. Genius is not working right now. I click the annotations and it does not bring up. You guys can't see it. Here, I'll click the window. You can see. I click on a annotation and it just, it's no longer like loading the actual notes. So I don't really know what's going on with that. But I guess I'll try and figure it out myself. I slide the window back. Is his grandfather? Is it his grandfather that passed? I know you're in a better place. I can't even cry about that. You know, I did like too, you know, my bro left today. I thought he said ho. My ho left today. I wasn't really paying close attention. So that's what it is. My bro left today. And then he goes, fuck. And then everything just drops out. The music drops. Okay, this makes much more sense. Because I was kind of surprised he was that upset about his hoe leaving. Like, who cares, right? Well, let's get another hoe. They're everywhere. You just trip all over him. My bro left today. Now this makes so much more sense. Hot sauce in my cup of noodles. You taught me that. I ain't seen you in some years. And this news right here almost made me have a heart attack. Okay, your mama's heart's intact. We just spoke. I couldn't stomach that. So he's talking to his mom, his friend's mom, and she's, I guess, okay. I'm going to London on the 1st. I'll bring you something back on a house with a hill big-ass grill. We could have a boxing match. I know you're... Okay, so his friends died. Crazy. Huh. Well, let's move on to the final track. I like that. I like DNA. I've enjoyed this whole album. I only hesitate because I feel like it's not something I will put on very often. But, man, when the mood strikes me, this is the album for that mood. The dark, tired, don't care, don't want to try, kind of getting fed up with everything. You know, we all go through those little moments in time where you just feel these things. And I always feel like it's great to have music that pairs with it. I feel like it helps me process through those feelings and then I can move on rather than get stuck in those feelings. All right, final track is called Wool. It's featuring Vince Staples. Let's drop in.
Yeah. Soon as I catch the vibe, tell him to fetch the hearse. Shouty, I'm pressing lines, lifting the Laura shirt. Tell her to bless the girl if she with it. I'm
I'm in that kitchen, wrist while the whipping work. Nigga, I don't do that. Niggas get blue, blacked, and blown away. West is making Mexicans wet backs like orale. Okay, I'm on to something. Mama should've told you it be days like this. This just a tale from the crib. I'm on my say y'all shit. I'm trying to make $1 million, keep a hood while crossing over on some AI shit. I need a foreign baby mama to match a nigga mama with Ramona Park, made me from scratch. A lot of lotto picks lost inside this game we call rap. Pistols rip his body apart. Now he afraid of dark alleyways. Niggas better listen when the pastor say. Hold on.
It's interesting that they clip out that line.
Bitch, it's golf on that ball cap. I guzzle the tall boy. Jehovah ain't called back. And y'all still debating over Earl music. Truce got the group nationwide moving. Merch units crazy. Peanut butter to paisley. Bitch, it's difficult to beat them like a soft dick. Golf click deep and we don't hit the streets passive. That nigga sweaty got the gas and Shreddy K bought the matches. Pitch a body in the water like a lifted teabag it and switch to different fucking whip to let the piggy speed past them. It's the rats trying to get the cheese. What it do? Rap like I'm mincing meat. Fingertips is tape is not loose. When you faces give a fuck about all the moves all these losing niggas making now.
Well, that was a fucking big old burst of fire from top to bottom. That was a great song. That was a great song. This line, where was it? Where was it? Bitch, it's difficult to beat him like a soft dick. That was great. That was great. Both verses, man. Fucking Vince crushed it. And fucking Earl crushed it. Both verses were great. Really good. You know, and what's nice about that one being the final track is, I just got done saying it. Total coincidence, honestly. You know, I like to listen to this dark, moody stuff sometimes. It helps me process these emotions, but then I feel like I can move on. What a great way to, like, okay, put a little spark, a little bit of energy. Let's move on. Now it's, you know, we were inside, we were in the dark, we're moping around, we're feeling it, you know. And then after a little while, it's like, all right, it's time to move on. And that's what, to me, that's what that track is. Let's get some energy. Let's get up. Let's move around. Let's get some, you know, get some blood pumping and go. Time to get going again. That was cool. That was a great track. Shit, that was really good. That fucking line, man. Yeah, get into the back part too. Switch to a different whip. Let the piggies speed past him. So changing out, he's getting chased by somebody, by the cops, changing cars. It's the rats trying to get the cheese. What to do? Rap like a mincing meat. Again, a lot of references to things I don't know, and I don't want to sit here for 5 minutes and pick them all apart and try to understand them. It's nice to get some insight now and then, but for the most part, I'm just gonna leave them be. I be swimming with sharks. Your posse's full of prawns. This final line though on Vince's verse, you know, people better listen when the pastor say, and then he never finishes the line. He just goes, hold on. Preachers trying to teach the youth that if you follow the word of God, it will keep you off the streets. Sure. Alternatively, Vince could be portraying himself as a pastor delivering knowledge. Sure. Okay. Yeah. Okay. If you're watching on YouTube, this will conclude your video. I'm going to do reactions to the 2 music videos associated with this album. If you want to watch them, it's on Patreon. It's $2 a month. I appreciate the support. If you don't want to watch them, all good. No worries. I really like that. I really like that project. Very moody, very dark, unsettling. But the fact that it closes with wool, and wool's got a bit of a spark, like kind of pushing the dark out. I really like that. Honestly, what is it? It's been an hour and a half. I feel better now, an hour and a half later, than what I did when I first started recording. You guys saw what I said at the beginning. I was kind of on the edge a little bit. And please understand, you know, it's not like I'm distraught, but there's just, in a lot of these things that are happening that I was talking about at the beginning, that's not like immediately close to me, but it weighs on my mind because it could. There's nothing gonna spare me from what is inevitably coming, right? And I know that sounds a little dark and gloomy and shit, but really what I'm trying to say, and I think why some of these things that have happened to people who are around me, is it does weigh on the mind a little bit. You know, I try to use the things that happen as a way to appreciate my life further, because I do have an incredible life and I do appreciate it. And sometimes it's easy to get lost in the trenches of the day-to-day. You're going to work, you're coming home, you're doing laundry, you got to put the dish. It's so easy to get lost in those trenches and start taking things for granted. And I don't want to take things for granted. And so there are times when maybe I focus a little too much on some of the tragedies that are happening to other people. But when I do that, what I'm trying to do is hold it in contrast to my own life and go, look, things are good. Appreciate it. Enjoy it. And I think that's important for all of us. And we all have our own scale, of course. I just totally stopped talking about the album, didn't I? We all have our own scale of what's good and what's bad. And you know, I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that are struggling. And I at times feel like a hypocrite for trying to act like, I don't know, whatever. I know people have it worse than I do. I guess maybe I'm not a hypocrite. I don't want to sound like I'm bragging, and I don't want to preach to people who have a rough time right now and tell them, "Oh, look for the good things," because that honestly pisses me off, because sometimes there isn't a lot of good. And that's just a fact. Unfortunately, it's what it is. I wish it wasn't that way, but sometimes that is what it is. So I guess really what I'm trying to say, I don't want to come off as preachy. If you are having a hard time right now, please don't take me as saying, oh, just look at the bright side or anything like that, because that's not really what I'm trying to say. I guess what I am trying to say is whatever you can find in life to appreciate, try and take the time to do so, because you never know. You never know when it's gone or when it changes, or life moves, man. It's kind of weird. Everything's fine, and all of a sudden it's not. It's not. Just like that fucking guy I work with who, oh, shit, it's over. You know, the theme of a ride and life being the ride. That's the tricky part about it, is you never really know when your ride ends. You know, some of us do. If we have a good, fulfilling life, you get to the end and you know it's coming. But shit, I could fucking wipe out in a car crash tomorrow. Don't know. Just don't know. In relation to the album, you know, this kind of music, I can see, you know, people aren't going to be into this, and I totally get it. But this kind of music, for me, I find it therapeutic. I find it cathartic. I find it just helps to work me through it. And I love that it ends with wool. I love that you wallow in this shit for a good 25, 28 minutes, and then you break out at the end. Because that's an important part, too. You can't just wallow in it. You can't just wallow in it. You got to pop out of it. Otherwise, you'll just be buried in it like in fucking grief. Appropriate title for the sound of that song and for the video. Okay. I've said enough. That was part one of the Earl Super Friday. I'm going to move on to Solace next.